20...
Just a week ending February the 1st. A just look back at the last 7 days with Bill Wallace.
Mr. President?
Yeah, oh, come in, Dick. Yeah, we're on the verge of a new order.
Yep, only one sandwich left. I'll send out for some more.
No. I'm filling in my State of the Union form.
No, the one you had standardized?
Yep, sure saves a lot of time.
Uh-huh.
Now, listen to this, Dick. The war against the Syrians, stroke Iranians, stroke Iraqis, stroke Libyans, stroke Egyptians, delete as applicable, is going according to plan. We and our Arab allies, the Syrians, stroke Iranians, stroke Iraqis, stroke Libyans, stroke Egyptians, delete as applicable, are bombarding the enemy with mega death force. But of course, as for innocent civilians, we mean, stroke meant them no harm. Delete according to whether any of them are left. Well, what do you think, Dick?
Inspirational, Mr. President.
On Spico d'Esperanto, a beginner's course in a new common European language. Douglas, who is British, and Hans Dietrich, who is German, are neighbors who have a mutual friend in need of their help. They meet to discuss the problem, but as neither speaks the other's language, they converse naturally in Desperanto.
Good dag, Hans Dietrich.
Hello, Hans Dietrich.
Good dag, Douglas.
Hello, Douglas.
Penny Kuwait need help for Biff Saddam.
Our friend Kuwait needs our help to fight Saddam.
Me ne biff me willy wimpy.
I cannot fight. I am a pacifist.
But biff Saddam, me doshin kitty.
But you fight Saddam, and I'll help pay.
But if you, Willy Wimpy, how you haha me Biff Saddam?
But if you're a pacifist, how is it you're happy to pay me to fight?
Ah, but me pocket fat mit tinkly, Willy Wimpy.
Because I am a filthy rich pacifist.
Next week on Spico d'Esperanto, we'll look at how to define the now obsolete irregular verb to negotiate.
He loves me not, he loves me not, he loves me not.
Come to bed, Mikhail. It's almost 3 a.m. You can look through the photo albums in the morning.
I'm just checking before I send him for hairbrushing, Raisa. He loves me not, he loves me not, he loves me. He loves me. I thought there had to be one, comrade. That face seems familiar if I could decide this. Not sure. Bingo? Pongo.
Here where you are, by the orders of Interior Minister Boris Pugo.
Ah, Pugo, that's it. I must remember to give the Politburo non-leaky biros. What is going on? Who are you?
KGB, and don't move.
Freeze.
We get door down, comrade. It's minus 27 out there. What do you think you are doing?
Investigating sabotage of the state and economic crimes.
Here? Do you know where you are? This is Mikhail Gorbachev.
Nothing like starting at the top. Mikhail Gorbachev, pull the other one.
Careful, comrade. Remember, we are KGB. We do the pulling. Right. We will search for evidence of economic crimes, understand?
Net. Well, what do you mean, economics?
So you are Mikhail Gorbachev. 1,000 pardons. Dmitri, it's the boss. Take the stocking off your head.
And don't catch the suspender belt on your shoulder holster. Right. What's all this about?
New sweeping powers to enter premises without hindrance.
Really? And what was wrong with the old sweeping powers? Do you know anything about this, Mikhail?
Who, me? Well, Raisi, I may have signed something. I really don't recall.
Mikhail, this is no time for your Ronnie Reagan impersonation. And what other orders have you signed?
Oh, well, military patrols on the streets.
What? Speak up!
We have military patrols on the street, Comrade First Lady. The people are afraid of being attacked by vicious thugs.
Well, if they weren't, they are now. Have you gone mad, Mikhail? All these repressive decrees. And as for abolishing the 50 and 100 ruble note...
But, darling, it stops racketeers and the people can always revert to the normal Russian currency.
Though it is not easy stuffing your wallet with Levi jeans.
Then there was abandoning the market economy program. Threats against the Baltics, Georgia, the Ukraine. Mikhail, you're turning into a dictator.
Nonsense. I'm just a president with absolute power. All I'm doing is bringing the Soviet Union back together.
True, Comrade Gorbachev. All the republics are now united.
been wanting you to go.
Oh, enough of this, Mikhail. We will talk in the morning. And you two, get out. Do you know what time it is?
Time? Well, according to my jolly Uncle Joe wristwatch, the big hand is on the throat and the little hand...
He's also on the throat. About 1940, I'd say.
I'm also thinking of banning this.
So you thought holiday camps were a thing of the past. Well, come and see for yourself at the new Pouchin's Prisoner of War camp. Just send us proof of Iraqi origin and you'll do the time of your life. Enjoy a complete retreat from everyday life and wish the rest of your life away. In a place where the facilities cost nothing, including the hundreds of bars that are provided just for you. Pouchin's POW camps. We never forget you have no choice.
Hello. In time of crisis, many of you, I know, will have deep misgivings about the use of force. But to those of you who do, I say this. When the ravening tiger attacks the defenseless gerbil, we are often tempted, like the foolish ostrich, to bury our heads in the sand. We say, oh well, the gerbil is a long way off, and nobody thought the tiger was ravening when it spent 8 years smiting the barking ocelot. But the fact remains, the tiger cannot change his spots. It is too late now to pour oil on troubled cormorants. The tiger's already done that. And so it is, with heavy heart, that Christians must once again don the hard, shiny exoskeleton of battle and march lion-hearted into the fray. I don't pretend this is easy, but if the tiger is vanquished, skinned, and turned into a large rug in the White House, then I have no doubt we might see doves of peace fly once more in the Middle East. And when that happens, who knows, pigs might join them.
Imagine you are alone.
Hello? Excuse me.
Totally alone.
Is there anybody, hello?
Pan Am or Panicked American Airlines present Airplane 1991.
All I want's a barley sugar.
Where it's only when you begin to relax that you realize just how alone you really are.
Yeah, let's see. Duty-free prices, landing card, how to fly a 747.
And the silence becomes unbearable.
Excuse me, but will someone kindly tell me I'm supposed to watch this film without headphones? Hello?
Airplane 1991, not coming to an airfield near you.
Oh, it's nice to give the kids a day at the seaside, isn't it?
Yeah. Look at them paddling there, picking up shells and pebbles.
And gastroenteritis.
Yeah.
To think we used to pay good money to go to Spain for that.
Yeah, you don't need affluence when you've got effluence.
Oh, I think that swim's washed me down. Will you do my back again?
Oh, sure. Where's the harpic?
Here. Oh, never mind. Sounds like the tide's coming in now.
Yeah. Hey, look at that boat. Right now, Prescott, pay attention. I shall not have Labour front benches making remarks about the Gulf offensive, which betray somewhat less than wholehearted support for the new patriotic Labour policy. Now, do I make myself clear?
Well, not often, Neil, but on this occasion, perfectly.
Right, thank you. So, from this point on, no remarks on the Gulf situation unless they fall within your portfolio as transport spokesman. Agreed?
Agreed.
Good. Well, night-night then.
Great. Just a second, Neil. I've got something to say.
Well, get on with it then, get on with it.
Don't you agree, Neil, that the jams on those military supply routes are absolutely appalling? I mean, surely we shouldn't even think of pushing through into Iraq until some of those rather dangerous bomb craters are tarmacked over. Good God, there might be an accident.
Oh, go on, Prescott. You'll miss the last bus. And welcome to another edition of Gulf Experts Expert, in which we reveal the name of this week's Gulf Expert of the Week. This week, the contenders are
Sir Bunty Lunty Cunningham, former Supreme Commander Allied Forces Europe, and now chairman of the Keep Tunbridge Wells British campaign. His specialities are military strategic logistics, logistical military strategicals, and statistically logistically militaristics. He uses words like serial, advanced thrust, and big push. Sir Bunty's hobbies include wife-beating and cold showers.
Lance Tuber,
15-year-old editor of Fighting Men and Big Guns Monthly, incorporating Airfix Plane Spotter and Duffel Bag Weekly. His special subjects are MiGs, missiles, mirages, and most words beginning with M. Lance has an intimate knowledge of aircraft types and rocket designations and has that rare ability to transform the most boring commentary into something really quite stunningly dull. With his tousled hair and suit to match, Lance has become a firm favorite with his mother.
Vincent Price, former BBC defence analyst and now reader in comparative slaughter studies at Oxbridge Library. Vince, as he now likes to be known, to avoid any confusion with the horror film actor, Peter Cushing, was amongst the first of the new breed of experts to give up his valuable time to provide what has become an essential service for absolutely nobody but the Iraqis.
And the winner is...
Hang on, we haven't finished yet.
Oh, no.
What? There's loads more to come, yes.
Yeah.
That was only yesterday's list.
Yeah.
There's Field Marshal Marshall Field, Wing Commander Roger Andout, our Kayla from the local scout troop, and Jeff's mum. She was in the land army. And her neighbour's milkman. He used to work with rockets at Brock's, I think.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important update about the unrest and the desert ally.
That report was filed under government policies on censorship. However, that wasn't the reason for the gaps in transmission. They were due to no longer being able to buy ribbon for the typewriters, as the company supplying them has gone bust in the recession due to government policies on the economy. And now, for a sketch of very modest proportions.
But Charles, you heard what your mother said.
Yes, but
It doesn't look good, right? Chasing after foxes and enjoying yourself while there's this sort of war thingy on, okay?
I understand this whole thing, but all the unnecessary slaughter, the bloodshed, the absolute waste of it all.
Right.
One's going to miss it all if one can't go fox hunting.
There now follows a public information announcement for all Israeli citizens. During an air raid warning, you are advised to put on your gas masks. Go to a sealed room. Place a wet towel under the door. It's only safe to emerge when the all clear has been sounded.
There now follows a public information announcement for all Palestinian citizens. During an air raid warning, you are advised to hold your breath and find a room that might have a door. But whatever you do, do not emerge when the all clear has sounded, for although the gas danger has passed, there is still a 24-hour curfew, and you might be shot.
And that is the end of this public information announcement.
And that is the end of the public.
Had enough of the tribulations of everyday life? You feel like getting away?
Well, why not fly Iraqi Air Force to any one of over 100 destinations, all inside Iran?
It needn't cost you an arm and a leg, and you can sample the traditional Iranian hospitality, far better than Iraqi hospitalization.
So, why be a martyr when you can charter Iraqi Air Force?
Fly with us today and get away from it all. For good.
Oh, look at all this about the Sudan.
What?
All that famine and drought. We should do something.
Oh, you can't just throw money at that problem. It makes things worse.
Really?
Yes. You see, we're spending £3.6 million a day on Iraq, and what's the result?
What?
Total disruption of supplies of food and water. Understand? Simple if you look at it like that.
Yes, I suppose you'd have to be.
Wakey, wakey, Ollie, dear. It's morning.
Oh, God. What happened last night?
Well, you watched telly until about 10, then you had a nice cup of cocoa, and when you'd finished, you stood up and said, I'm off to bed now, darling. Night-night.
Oh, no. Did I really say that? Me? Oliver Reed, really embarrassed.
No, tell a lie. You had 2 cups of cocoa, now I think of it.
Okay, it gets worse. Oh, everything's coming back to me now. I decided to have a quiet night in order to recover from the bender on after hours. What must my mates think of me?
Oh, not to worry, pet. Peter O'Toole phoned up at midnight, and I pretended you were next door throwing up all over the neighbours.
Oh, bless you, my darling. I have to keep up appearances.
Now, can I get you anything?
Yeah. How about something for a blinding headache?
Certainly. What about this?
Oh, that's much better.
Tony, come on now. I know you don't like Neil's stand on the Gulf War.
But you've got to understand what we're up against. We're dealing with a desperate man, a man with his back to the wall, a man with no integrity, who'll betray all his principles and sell his friends down the river just to hold on to power. Don't you understand that?
Of course I do, Roy. Neil's been like that for years.
Yeah.
Ah, Mr. Baker. Pleased to
Who are you?
Besmuchnik.
Gesundheit.
The new Soviet Foreign Secretary.
Oh!
Now, about this summit.
Yeah.
We're prepared to scrap our arms.
I don't know. We're rather worried about Lithuania.
Okay, we'll scrap Lithuania, too.
No. I can see you're new at this job. Look, if you want something from us, you've got to offer something in return, like a quid pro quo.
You mean linkage?
Of course, basis of all diplomacy.
See.
Pulling some troops out of the Baltics would be a start.
Done.
Hey, you learn fast.
And by the same token, if Saddam Hussein pulled out of Kuwait, he could have a Middle East peace conference.
Hey, yeah, now that's a great idea. I'll get on to that.
Don't you want to consult your allies? They might veto it.
People will still remember that it was good old America who offered Saddam his last chance of peace.
That's brilliant.
Right.
But won't it leave President Bush embarrassed and confused?
Well, sure, our policies have to have some continuity. I can see I'm going to like you. Now, you tell me, is your president really in control?
I was just wondering the same about...
And now here's next week's news. The weekend. After David Putnam makes a Labour Party political broadcast, it's revealed that it's the first time a party broadcast actually lasts 3 hours instead of seeming like it. Prince Philip, who led the shooting of 1,000 pheasants in one day at Sandringham, says it would have been even more, but he had to get away to a meeting of the World Wildlife Fund. Bisto withdraw their tear-jerking TV commercial featuring a child of a broken marriage when viewers complain it brings a lump to their gravy.
Monday. The researcher who said that the average adult tells 200 lies a day admits the figures were distorted by including Ministry of Defense spokesmen. Marks & Spencer, who are to start providing loans and mortgages, say they hope this will encourage thousands of new customers to visit their food departments. Sir Geoffrey Howe, who announced that he's giving up politics to join the board of Glaxo, explains that he wants to spend more time with his pharmacy.
Tuesday. After trying out the new Russian version of Monopoly, players complain of the 5-year wait for permission to build a hotel on Gorky Park. The Asian policeman who was awarded £20,000 for race discrimination by his force collects his cheque and inexplicably falls down the steps on his way out. Purchasers of the new Scratch and Sniff guidebook to Grimsby demand their money back after complaining that it smells of Cleethorpes.
Wednesday. After being banned from driving, Labour Transport spokesman John Prescott claims that he's just endorsing party policy of increased use of public transport. The school dinner lady, who is to train to be a teacher after gaining an Open University degree, says she's looking forward to the challenge, but will obviously miss the money.
Thursday. The Japanese company that developed a method of etching so small that messages can be written in single atoms is awarded the contract to design the new 50-pence piece. After Boris Becker announces that he would like to spend the rest of his life as a boozy, fat slob, he is invited to appear on Channel 4's After Dark.
Friday. The Prince and Princess of Wales celebrate their 10th wedding anniversary with separate parties. Kenneth Clark abandons plans to give schoolchildren their maths lessons on video after pupils refuse to show teachers how to work the recorders. And finally, following the reported increase in popularity of condoms that glow in the dark, it's revealed that people no longer need a torch to find the back seats of the cinema. And that is the end of next week's news.
Just a Week Ending featured